Right, hopefully we've got some audio this time. It's got the mic on, the needles are moving, and yeah, that's looking reasonably good, hopefully. Well, another week, and it's gone exceedingly quickly again. I can't believe how quickly it does go. And I think, let's have a look and see who's on the net at the moment. Simon's joined. That's good. It's going to be a quick net probably, but I suppose a lot of people are busy with the contest side of things, and obviously it's Father's Day. Get rid of that, go back to me. I've not done a great deal. The only thing that I have been is playing with my little SRT side of things, and the decoder box that I use to do the streaming, which is that one, the Zoetech. HDMI in, and then you can stream to 3 streams, or its detection of the HDMI in as well. Federer died. It's a mind of its own, shall we say? So I'm no longer using that. But going back to its maker as such, and we're using. Let's go over to the main camera, and back to that's that's the card, my Father's Day card. So it's a picture of Ruby. That's for my son, and I'm using a different roving camera because it's smaller. But what I am using to do all the streaming up to the YouTube at the moment is the laptop that's over there, which is what I also now use for the SRT repeater. That's a i5 1035 G1, I think it is, with 8 gig of RAM. That works exceedingly well, much quicker. And my little SRT repeater that's sort of sitting in a mess behind there is working well. Just means that I can only stream one stream at the moment, so that's up to YouTube. So that's really all I've been up to. I wasted a day going around using SDR television. I think a request that I think I'd have is, could we have larger start, stream, send and mute audio buttons to make them sort of stand out a little bit more from the rest? My sort of tired eyes, it would make it easier when I'm going around. Which one is it? Apart from that, nothing else. Right, I'll pass it on. I think it's Leon to take it. He's always there. So there's always going to be 1 week that he's going to let me down. Not with. I know another thing I'm before I do. I had a WhatsApp from Gary to wish me all the best for Father's Day, etc. Not that he's my dad, but anyway. And that he said he'd sent his computer back to whence he got it, and either wants a replacement or for them to fix it. So they're still having computer problems. He didn't say exactly what the computer problems were, so and that his workload hopefully will ease a little bit. I suppose that's what's taking so much of his time. Anyway, on that, Leon might have even more information. He's more up to date than what I am. So we'll pop a test card and over to you there, Leon, from G8KOE.
for an X band, for a 10 gig circulator, and I've got loads of circulators, but this is the only one. Well, actually, it's an isolator, which this one is. This is the only one I've got that does 10 gigs. It's in there, circulate, and then it's got a splitter bolted onto it, so you're losing 3 dBs. There's the 2 output ports, but that's the best I can do for him. But it's for his moonbound stuff on X band. So yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. We don't want to watch that. Okay, so yeah, that's the isolator, and I must just put it in the box and I send it by courier to him on Tuesday, because tomorrow is a public holiday in South Africa. Okay, and then another project that I want to start after I finish this transmitter is I want to make a compact, easy SSB uplink for the for QO-100. So I thought, hang on. What's the cheapest, simplest exciter one can get? There's a CB set. So it took about 15 minutes on the local repeater, and a chap from Robertson, ZR1 Whiskey Mike, said, oh yeah, he's got a surplus one, he'll send it to me, and he sent it, and there it is in perfect condition. So I'll just disable the driver and the final and use a pre-driver into the mixer, and a little one of these 4351s as a local oscillator to mix up, and maybe a 2.4 gig filter, and then just a Saro amp, and there you are. You've got lots of oomph on upper sideband, lower sideband, and even AM if you want to. So yeah, for a receiver you just use a normal dongle and a laptop. Once I can get my dongle to work on one of my laptops, works fine on this PC. Anyway, so that's another project that I would like to get going. Otherwise, not much going on here. It's we've been varnishing all the shelves. I mean, I'm busy putting up 24 shelves in my new little storeroom, which was my old workshop, and I thought, hang on, let's varnish them before we fit them. So we finished that. We've had 3 beautiful days this week. 0 wind. It's like summer days. Clear blue skies, lots of sunshine, so the varnish dried quite quickly. And yes, so now I'm just waiting for the brackets. None of the shops had enough brackets. I need 95 brackets for all these shelves. So they've ordered it from the supplier, and they said it should be here by Wednesday. So let's cross our fingers and see, because I want to get done with this job. Storage space. And in the meantime, I'm collecting small boxes. They're about a foot long, maybe not even, and maybe 8 inches deep and about 4 inches, if that much, high. The chocolate bars come in them. So I'm up at the local Spar shop every day, and because if you don't remove the boxes the moment they've unpacked them, they crush them. So I said to them, no, I want all those boxes. So at the moment I've got, I think, 37 boxes, but I want about 100, so it's going to be another month or 2 before I'll have enough, because they fit nicely on the shelves, and then you can put small items in there and label it. I've got lots of big boxes with various stuff in it, with writing on it, but too many small things. So I want a lot of small boxes for small things. So yeah, sorting, and labeling, filing. Okay, that's it from me for now. I give it to Phil from ZS1 Mike in Worcester.
Oh, no test guard today. Slipped up there, didn't I? Oh, no test guard today. There's audio as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Talk about not being ready. I just, because it's the sun's out here and it's quite warm, and my little cabinet in the garden is getting a bit warm. Oh, it's getting even warmer, and put the fan on. Oh God. But yeah, I've had to go out and open the doors because as it warms up, it loses gain. My PA loses gain, which is okay. I've got plenty of gain to up this end, but I'll just have to keep an eye on it because it will go down a bit. Anyway, just keep my eyes on it. Right, here we go. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are, to everybody who is watching on the worldwide net. It's an absolutely, as I said, gorgeous day here. There's some wispy white clouds up there, but the sun's beaming down. And in the shack, well, at the moment it's 27 degrees, so it's not too bad. What have I been doing? Let me think, what have I been doing? Electronics wise, not a great deal. However, it was Mike, I think, MJW last week on the worldwide net. Introduced us to KC868, which is like a controller board. I've got some pictures of it. Oh, this is right, yeah. So he introduced this controller board, and you may remember I've got a project to replace my Arduino, which controls my PA, which is remote, and it links up over Ethernet. That's the board I was going to replace it with, which is a Nucleo 64. It's based on a STM 32 chip. And what is it, STM32? Or is it an ESP32? Anyhow, what I was going to do is to do that and put an Arduino Ethernet piggyback board on it and use that to connect up to the interface, which is basically a strip board, Vera board, with discrete components on, etc. And I was in the process of designing a printed circuit board, and I was designing a printed circuit board, but I've done it basically. However, the tracks need to be, if you want, sorted out. It was a bit messy. It could be a lot tidier. So I put it to one side, and then Mike last week came up with this board, and I had a look. There's various different ones, and this is the one that I've ordered. And it's quite an interesting board because you can put on the Arduino IDE, which is what I use to program my Arduino, but it's got lots and lots of IOs on it. It's got three GPIOs with pull-up resistors, which is ideal for what we call one-wire connection, which is what some of the temperature sensors use. And it's pull-up resistor, which is what you need. It's got an I2C connection on it, and I need that. I think that goes to the attenuator. It's got 16 digital inputs and 16 MOSFET outputs and 4 analog inputs. And I was a bit concerned about having to program this up. Yeah, I was a bit concerned programming it up. Because the program that I've written is for basically, or was for the Arduino, but I had ported it over to run on this nuclear board. But anyhow, I looked at some of the YouTube videos to do with this board, which is a KC868-A16, and after looking at some of these videos to do with different applications that you could use it for, I realised that my code that I've written for the Arduino will need minor modifications to work on this bigger board, and I haven't got the board yet. It's on order. Obviously as soon as I connect it up and try to program it, yeah, I know there's going to be problems, but in theory all I have to do is to change the designation of the I/O ports in my program. So the basic program as it stands should work, and all I should have to do is to change the I/O designations in theory. And we all know that when you try and do it, other things will fall out of the woodwork or software, whatever, but in theory it should work. So I've got it on order. It was only £18, but it's one of the bigger boards because it's got 16 inputs and 16 digital inputs and 16 digital outputs. You can get a smaller board, and I think it's got 8. But that's relay driven, but that's okay. But I think what I do, because of size, if this does work, then I'll probably go down the smaller board, because I'll physically be easier to put it in, because there isn't much spare space in the power supply box where this Arduino sits. But my plan is to build a new one, and once I've done that, because I've got a spare 2.4 gig PA, I could, in theory, go portable, but that's a long way down the line. But anyhow, that's one of the things I've been up to. Simon, I think, is next. I'm going to hand it over to you then, Simon. I'm going to put up a test card, and then I shall kill carrier, but this time I will put up a test card, because when I powered up there wasn't a test card there, and there should have been, but there wasn't. So I'm going to put up the test card, and then I shall kill carrier, and it'll be over to you then, Simon. Test card, there we go.
There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope it's me. Got some heavy cloud that's come over, and it's actually attenuating the signals from the satellite quite badly. But I do have to get my dish properly aligned. It really is quite disgraceful. it would appear to be significantly out of alignment. Martin, thanks for the info on Gary. I was wondering what he was up to. It's a shame he hasn't got someone there who can help him with his dish. But that's not with his dish, rather with his computer. Otherwise, what I've been up to, well, wasted an entire week on looking at some supposedly good error correction code written by a bunch of academics, and that in itself pretty well sums everything up. Didn't work properly anyway, despite the fact, and they hadn't realised this. Dreadfully inefficient, shocking, not much more that one can say, really. So that was a week I won't get back. And this coming week, my plans are to actually get this dish aligned. I think I'm about 1.5 dB down on reception on what it should be, which is rather poor. It's probably actually a question of getting the potty feed in the right place more than anything else. Otherwise, that's it. I see a few clowns around transmitting very strong signals on the wideband. So I'll stay for another lap, but then I'll go and take the dog out. Nothing else really to report. So back to you, Martin, from G4ELI. So back to you. Martin.
Yeah, okay, there's Simon. Yeah, another thing of wasting time. Yep, I've got some sound. There's needles moving. I was panicked now. It didn't say whether I could have bigger buttons. The start stream, send, and mute audio. Anyway, the only other thing I will mention is SAQ. It's come for 10th anniversary on the 2nd of June. I think it's the 2nd of June. That can't be the 2nd of June. It must be July, isn't it? It just says, I did get the email through today, and I obviously didn't register in the brain. It's on a Wednesday anyway, so it's next month. I think tests on the Tuesday. That's on 17.2, so I'll get the equipment going to receive that, which hopefully we'll do. Oh no, I did. I think there was to download something. I should have made more notes. But anyway, SAQ is coming up, so people can look themselves and get the information. Don't rely on me. And yeah, I need to have a little tweak of the dish. Yeah, I'm not going to sort of what am I getting? I'm getting myself on OpenTuner. There's 5.8 at the moment, MER 5.8. But anyway, and the 2.5, 2.6 sort of thing. I don't really have a lot more to add, as I haven't really done anything other than wasted time on that encoder box, which frustrated me because I'd change the firmware or change this or do that, and it would all look as though it was working, and it would stop working. But it was certainly very slow in detecting where I was on the input, so my bodge up of a repeater tended not to function smoothly, whereas now, running using the PC, it's running very well. And yeah, I think the main problem with Gary is that he's just overworked, basically. I did tell him to slow down a little bit. You know, it's yeah. So I think he'll be back more when he can put his mind on chasing things, etc., etc. But yeah, I'd have thought it should be someone near him, or just you know, I want a new one. I had to do it with Dell, which I had problems with, but they were very reluctant to replace my PC. But I think it was weeks and weeks and weeks, and they agreed to. So anyway, on that note, yeah, you're always busy there, Leon. I'm building bits and pieces. CB. I only once had a CB, and it was only a Max 4A or 4B or something. I used it twice and didn't like it. and so and that didn't have a sideband. That was just the good old days. Anyway, on that note, I'll pass it on to you there, Leon, and see whether there's other things that I can comment on, which is the shells. I could have commented on the shells, but varnishing them, that's posh, isn't it? Test card, and it's yours there, Leon, from G8KOE.
Okay, Martin. Yeah, come, Whiskey. Go. Whiskey wants to say hello to you, but she's all over the place here. Yeah, Martin, your audio on this over is rather low. Nothing wrong with it. It's just lower than you normally are. I don't know if you're just whispering. Okay, yeah, no. I don't like CBs at all. I was a radio amateur long before CB came to South Africa. And it came and it went. I don't think there's any CB activity, but it's a nice cheap SSB exciter, so why not use it for QO-100? So that's the idea. Otherwise, Phil, gee whiz, why such a complicated thing to switch your PA on and off? This is what I use: a 1-button 433 meg remote. If I press a button now, I'm off air, and if I press it again, I'm back on the air. Because my PA is also outside in the storeroom where I'm going to put the shelves now, with its power supplies and all the fans and stuff. And I only need one channel, just on and off. I mean, what else do you want to do with the thing? It's self-protected. It cannot overheat. It cannot overcurrent. So yeah. I just want to switch it off when I'm done. Okay, Phil. Yeah, but I know you like fiddling with those logic things. Simon, hello to you there. Yeah, I wish you were closer so that I could get my SDR console to work on my laptops. It worked fine on my old laptop, but that died. So I've got some other oldish laptops here, but yeah, it's strange. I follow the instructions. It's a SDR Play that I've got, the R1, and I go to their website and get the proper driver and install it. And then when I install SDR console, it says, do you want to keep this driver or do you want to replace it? Then I say, no, I don't want to replace it. And then it replaces it anyway with the program's driver, and then I plug in the SDR. It says there's no SDR fitted. The program won't start. But on this PC, which is an old Windows 7 one that I'm using for the reception of my DSTV, it works like a dream. So I don't know. I know too little about computers, definitely. It's obviously some driver thing, but I put the right driver in, but then, yeah. Anyway. Gary's got some computer gurus there, but they're all software people. Hardware computer people are very scarce in South Africa. Very, very scarce. There's lots of guys who write code and stuff, and you know, but to sort out a real hardware problem, nah, it's not easy. Yeah, you have to find the right guy. Anyway, Simon, you've got nice loud audio today, and your noise gate is working fine, but yeah, your hiss is still there when you talk. It's the hiss is there. I want you to at some stage unplug your microphone at the microphone, not somewhere later in the chain, just at the microphone, so we can find out where does the hiss come from, because it's there definitely. But your audio, you've jacked it up now nicely, and of course the noise gate, when you stop talking, it all shuts down, so you don't get the hiss. Now, I'm just trying to get your stuff perfect, because your picture is perfect and your audio quality is lovely. It's just that you've got a hiss when you're not talking. As I say, the noise gate helps a lot. Anyway, okay, Phil, over to you. M0PIT for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Right, there we go. Gonna have a slurp of tea because I'm suffering quite badly with hay fever, so just to keep my back of my throat moist. Yeah, Liam. One button. Remember, said my kit is remote. PA is remote. So I don't really know what's going on out there. So my piece of software. Oh, I've got to change the camera, haven't I? There we go. So that's why I have this Arduino controlling everything. So it's basically monitoring the volts on the power supply and the current. And the next one is that it monitors the temperature of the switch mode supply that's out there, because that can get quite warm. And then the next one is the power amp itself. I know it says 14 odd watts. It's really meaningless because it's all wideband, and I know it's a lot more than that, but it gives me an indication of what's going on. I'm actually pushing out some RF. The main one I take notice of, probably like most of us, is the current. But if I was pushing out, 2 watts and my power supply is actually sinking 10, then it's so it is useful, but it's just an indication. And then the last one on the top is I've got a remote digital attenuator out there, so when I control the output level, which I will do now, I shall give it a little bit more. There you go. So the current's gone up and the output level's gone up, so I'm going to bring it back down. So so that's why I've got this rather complicated. I could do it with one button, but I haven't got a clue what's going on in that case. But anyway, that explains why I want this quite complicated monitoring. Let's put my camera back. There we go. So that's the camera. So that's in response to Leon and his one button. Right, let's put the camera back. Not like I use it very often, but it's there. I was at the radio club, our local radio club, on Thursday, and they had a little bring and buy, i.e. people can bring any surplus kit or whatever, and any of the members can potentially purchase from them. So on one of the tables that was there, it was this. I removed my long wire about 5 years ago. I removed it because I really wasn't doing any HF. I got interested in satellite stuff, so all my HF equipment etc. went in boxes, and it's still in boxes down there. But there's been a discussion with like Martin and a couple of guys at the radio club about doing some HF stuff. So I'm thinking about resurrecting my long wire, and for that I need at least one good pulley. The pulley that is there at the moment is very cheap, and the rope that goes through it has tendencies to jump off. And as I say, while I was at the radio club, these were sitting on the desk to be sold, and I didn't have much money with me, so I wasn't anticipating buying anything. So when I asked how much, he said £5. Now, each one of those pulleys, if I was to buy them, they're £10 each. And the carabiners themselves, I mean, they're potentially about £10 to £15 each. So I thought that was a good buy. So I've got those, and all I've got to do now is to get the ladder out and go up and put some rope through the pulleys, or secure the pulleys, put some rope through it, and attach it to the long wire. So it's climbing up the ladder. I don't mind heights, but when you're on your own, you know, it's always a bit disconcerting. I mean, I used to go rock climbing, so heights don't really bother me too much. But when you're climbing up a ladder, and it's quite high as well, it's there's no one else around. You're very conscious, and so I don't like doing it on my own. I'll have to get a neighbour to come round and stand on the bottom of the ladder for me. But anyhow, as for next week, what am I doing? I don't really have anything planned. If that board comes through, I might start playing around with that, and if I can get the software to actually load on it, etc., I might be doing that. But apart from that, I don't really know what I should be doing next week. I don't really know. Anyhow, I'm waffling now because I can't think of what else of interest I've got to say. So I'm looking at my PA controller, and the power amp temperature, the heatsink temperature, is now up to 40 degrees. The extra fans are on, and the doors are open to the cabinet, so it's quite warm out there. But it's just gone down a bit, so it's sitting there just under 40 degrees. So there we go. Right, so Simon, it's over to you, I think. So I'm going to put up a test card. Let's have a look. I do like this test card. It brings back memories of the old analogue days. So I'm going to put this up, and then I shall kill carrier.
Good, that's working. Okay, good evening, or good evening, yes, good afternoon once again. Turn the sound off. Right, so regarding the hiss, this is the computer I'm using here at the moment. This is my development computer, and it gets used for all sorts of things, and settings get lost and get confused. The reason for the hiss is the speech compander I'm running. It's just bringing that up. Not really too worried. I can adjust that myself. I didn't think about it. I was chasing a bit of a bug before the net started. Martin, hello Martin, wakey wakey, G8KOE. I have a request for you. I'd be interested to know what MER value you're seeing with SDR console when you're watching your own signal. Be interesting. So when you come back, if you could enable the decoder overlay and just let me know what sort of MER you're seeing of your signal. And I'm only interested in this value of SDR console, and also like to know what size dish you're using. It'll give me an indication of how far out of alignment my setup is. And the sun has come out. Yippee, that's nice. So, and the hairy hound who's down here has sort of noticed, and so I'll probably go out for a walk very shortly with him. So to you, Martin, from G4 ELI. So to you, Martin, from G4. ELI.
Right. Yeah, I knew you'd be interested in MER 4.9. It says margin of 1.9 4 passes. Now I presume, I don't know whether you can put that overlay on what goes out. No, I couldn't easily. Anyway, that's what I'm reading it off as. Yeah, you just can't get the. I've never played with the settings on the decoder overlay. We'll look into them a little bit further. You see, I've not played with everything, and I'm probably went into mumble mode there, Leon. So MER 5.4, margin 2.4, and yeah, it's yeah, open tune is 5.6, but yeah, SDR television, which actually is working very well, I must admit. I think it's working better than it had been working. For what reason, I don't know. There's occasionally a stutter, but overall it's pretty good. And I did find, just to prove that I wasn't totally around the twist, which is usually the case, I found the anniversary thing, the 100th anniversary. So 2nd of July, SAQ transmissions, 70.2 kilohertz. So that'll give time for Phil to get his aerials up and working. And there's tests, I think, on the day before. I think they're doing 2 transmissions on that day. But anyway, you can get the information from the website. Let's get back to me. Right. Well, it's been a short but a good net, actually. I've enjoyed it. I just wish I was more awake. I think hay fever's affected me as well. I'll keep playing, and I'd frozen briefly when I looked at it's probably my computer this end. Too much going on. Too many pictures of me. So I'm also monitoring what's coming through on the ride receiver that I've got. But yeah, still 5.4. Oh. Yeah, it broke at 4.4 at the moment. 5.1, 5.3, 5.4. Stabilised down to 5 to 5.1 MER. Anyway, I hope that was enough information. Could do better. This is what I always used to have in my report. So at school. So I'll say 7 threes to everybody. Thanks for the coming out for the Worldwide Net, and I'll close it now. If anybody wants to come up, it's all yours. So I'll put up a Worldwide Net test card and close it down. And thanks again to everybody. from G8K. And I forgot, it's a 1.1 meter dish. I should have made notes. 1.1 meter dish. Again, apologies there. Going this time, definitely. Don't get old. You forget things. From Jake Carey.
Okay, yes, there is one I mean. Yeah, you 6.4 with me. I'm also using a 1.1, but of course I'm using the old mini scan and tune. Yeah, nobody commented on my problem with getting STR console working for the SSD on my laptop, so because I'm on my own again. But major breakthrough. Remember I said I've got so much noise on the HF that I don't even bother working HF anymore. Well, I finally found the culprit. It's my next door neighbor's security cameras. I gave him a little walkie-talkie, was it the day before yesterday? Said to him, just go to your house and start switching off things. And he said, yeah, no, okay, fine. And he started switching, no difference. I said to him, well, pull the main switch, the whole main switch. Poof! Beautiful. From S9 plus 10 to S6 background noise. Unbelievable. So he said, okay, he thinks he knows what it is, and he just unplugged the power supply for his security cameras and put the rest on, and it's still quiet. So, yeah, I am delighted. I can now work HF again. Yes, those cheap flipping switch mode power supplies, and of course there's long cables. He's got various cameras outside on the corners of the house and so on. So lots of aerials to rebroadcast the noise from the switch mode supplies. Anyway,